name's Thomas Reinhardt. I'm the CFO and General Counsel of Cascadia Pizza. We're a local wood-fired pizzeria chain with locations in King County. Our one location in Maple Valley, which is our busiest location, we're about a half mile outside the city limits, so we're impacted by this ordinance in that location. In addition, our food trucks as well, we have 2 mobile food units that travel throughout King and Pierce counties that it would be very difficult to ascertain where we're serving that day. Is this incorporated or unincorporated? And how do the wage laws work? So that patchwork component is really frustrating in that regard. If folks, of course, are at minimum wage, right, they go up to 21. The folks that are between minimum wage and that 21 also would have to get some type of compensation bump because, of course, 21's the new floor, and they haven't been at the floor, and they've been, maybe in some cases 10 to 20% above that floor. They're going to want to see that same type of pay increase. So it's not just the minimum wage workers that we're talking about, it's really the entire pay scale. And so what that does is that's a 25 to 30% jump overnight in our labor costs. I can tell you our margins aren't that good, so we can't absorb all of that. And so what that will lead to is we'd have to condense our hours of operation, save money there, inflate our prices. It's going to be really difficult. And we've been saying this, but it's truly economic life or death for our business. Coupled with the fact that we're so close to a city that does not have a higher minimum wage, our competitors who operate within the city limits won't be impacted by this at all. They won't have to raise their prices. They won't have to do the things that we're doing. And inevitably, just by market forces, that's going to drive customers who are price conscious, which is many customers these days, to the other establishments that are competitors and not to us. So the folks that made the decision at the committee level, they don't really engage with business very much at all, other than through the health department for folks in the restaurant industry. But the county really, they have no business licensing requirements, they have no business taxing or anything like that. So they can't even give us a firm number on how many businesses exist in unincorporated areas. And so, how can they study this issue and not even know how many businesses or employees it would impact? So yeah, while folks might have more money in their pocket in theory, all of the goods and services that are around them in their community will also be more expensive. And so you look at that, frankly, the only entity that profits in this is local government. So total compensation, some folks would refer to it as a tip credit. I prefer total compensation because it accounts for the total compensation that the employee is receiving. So things like tips, funds paid toward employee benefits, retirement, those types of things. It's what the city of Seattle has done since their minimum wage ordinance passed, 7 or 8 years ago now. And you can see that it's really helped restaurants in particular stay afloat. But total compensation saves this bill for our industry. It really takes into account how much people are earning, that they are in our industry and in our restaurant in particular. People are earning what I would consider to be a living wage. They are making advancement and gaining valuable skills. And without total compensation, it absolutely turns everything upside down. The political reality is there are people who strongly support this by virtue of their affiliation with a lot of the labor unions. But if we can get a total compensation model in here and permanently, not in a ramp-up period, but a permanent total compensation, our employees' livelihoods will be saved, as well as our business. I mean, it really is that stark of a reality. That if we can have total compensation and have tips and benefits count toward that minimum wage requirement, the restaurant industry as a whole in unincorporated King County will be saved. Without it, frankly I don't know what we'll do.